We start, though, with a winter blast heading our way tomorrow as the area prepares for even more snow. Good Monday evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Western Mass News at 6. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. We love starting the week with that, right? No. Hearing the word of more snow. Western Mass, of course, saw flurries yesterday, but we're already getting ready for another first warning weather day. Let's check in with meteorologist Janna Brown for the latest. Janna?
Yeah, guys, we've got the chance for some snow starting early tomorrow morning. So our winter weather advisories begin around 4 a.m. and will last out through 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. The bulk of the snow, though, is going to be from sunrise to sunset, and it's going to lead to hazardous travel conditions, not just here in Western Mass, but a good portion of southern New England. So we're expecting roughly 3 to 6 inches of snow. We'll detail that just a bit more in a little bit. It's going to be a fairly fluffy snow, so temperatures are going to be on the colder side, and wind is going to stay light, so it's not going to be howling, and we have to worry about power outages in that mess. Hazardous travel, definitely the biggest concern. Looking at some current conditions, we've got a few clouds out there, but mostly clear skies, cold and dry. 24 for a temperature, 4 for a dew point. Wind is calm, so the wind chill thing has started to back off a little bit. But now temperatures are just plummeting. We've got 15 in North Adams, 17 through Pittsfield and Cummington, and lower 20s already throughout much of the Pioneer Valley. Now, our satellite loop is showing clouds staying well off to the west right now, so we're going to stay fair skies through the next several hours. So temperatures will keep dropping like a rock to upper single digits to lower teens. We will reach those lows around and just after midnight. Cloud cover continues to increase, though, as we head into Tuesday morning, and we should see a snow start between about 5 and 7 a.m. Snow will be steady and persistent through the mid to late afternoon and then taper off, with temperatures only reaching middle to upper 20s. And again, breezes stay light. Now, there are a few more chances for snow toward the end of the week and weekend, and the cold looks to last as well. All the details in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Janna, thanks. Also, a quick reminder that we have you covered for this Winter Blast 21. We'll be on air tomorrow starting early at 4:30 a.m. with the latest forecast, your closings, parking bans, and much more. That's on all 3 networks of Western Mass News.
Breaking news today as Western Mass is getting answers after viewers have called us throughout the day about long lines at the Eastfield Mall for the COVID-19 vaccine site. The city of Springfield tells us that they reached out to Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito, who says the state will have ambassadors on site. There will also be new signage installed instructing people when to get in line to enter the building. We spoke with officials from Curative, the company that runs that site. They say there are several factors behind the long line, including people missing their appointments yesterday from the snow and others who arrived early for their appointments today.
Now to the latest developments in the search for a missing 11-year-old boy in Chicopee.
Western Mass News reporter Lindsay Kane joins us live now with the latest information from police. Lindsay?
Chris and Jordan, it's been 3 days since Aiden was last seen, but new information from police coming into our newsroom saying there were no surges today because of icy water conditions. Now, this is a picture of 11-year-old Aiden Blanchard. He was last seen wearing black ski pants and a red coat. Chicopee police tell Western Mass News Aiden was last seen Friday morning around 11:30 in the Willimantic area near Oldfield Road. They think he was heading to the Medina boat launch area. Less than an hour ago, police said in part, all evidence thus far substantiates that Aiden was alone and near the river when he went missing. No foul play is suspected. Search and rescue efforts began on Friday night. This was the scene as Chicopee police searched the Chicopee River using divers, boats, drones, and helicopters. Rescue teams headed back out Saturday morning, but searches were paused yesterday because of the high winds and snow. Meanwhile, the Chicopee school community has emotional support staff in place to help students during the search for Aiden. Alvin Morton, Assistant Superintendent of Chicopee Public Schools, tells Western Mass News in part, we're going to continue throughout the week to put supports in place, and this is the Chicopee community coming together during this difficult time. Now again, this is a picture of Aiden. He was wearing black pants and a red coat. It's still unclear when police will continue searching, but they have contacted the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children as an additional resource. Now, coming up later on Western Mass News 11 at 11, we hear exclusively from the mayor with more on this investigation. Live in Chicopee, Lindsay Kane, Western Mass News.
Lindsay, thanks for that live report. The latest now on a developing story in Palmer where a murder investigation is currently underway.
Now, police have been on scene searching for clues since this morning. And Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live in Palmer with the latest. Audrey, what can you tell us?
Well, it's a little dark to see, but
Police officers are still lining Fox Street here in Palmer. There's state police investigators and those with the Hampden County District Attorney's Office as well. And those with that latter agency say that this is a homicide. Now, we have not yet gotten an address as to where this incident happened. The Hampden County District Attorney's Office hasn't confirmed that to us yet, but from being on the scene for much of the day, we're noticing that they're spending a lot of time at the houses in the middle of the street. This is a very short dead-end road here in Palmer. It's Fox Street. Now, neighbors who saw the ambulances earlier today tell Western Mass News they rarely see a commotion in this neighborhood, and in fact, they usually feel safe.
Never happens in this thing. Once in a while, a fire or something. The cops are pretty good to us and stuff, so they come down the street a lot, just right up and down.
Multiple people also told us they heard commotion over police scanners, but we're waiting to confirm those details with law enforcement before we release them ourselves. Now, we started getting reports into the newsroom of a violent encounter earlier this morning, and we're going to continue to follow the latest developments in this case. Again, we expect those to come from the Hampden County District Attorney's Office, but for now, I'm reporting live in Palmer. Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thanks for that live report. Residents 75 years and older have been getting their COVID-19 vaccinations for a week now, but when will the next group in phase 2 get the go-ahead for their shots?
Western Mass News reporter Sarah Grinelli is getting answers for us at the State House in Boston.
The governor says when the federal government supplies the state with more vaccines, that's when the state can move forward with vaccinating another group of people. People across the state are eagerly waiting to get the coronavirus vaccine. Massachusetts is currently in the beginning of phase 2 with residents 75 years or older allowed to get their shots.
The Mass sites are batting about 100% in terms of vaccine allocated and vaccine administered, and they'll continue to operate at that level.
Western Mass News has received dozens of calls and emails to our Vaccine Authority hotline, wanting to know when the Bay State will move to the next group in phase 2. That is people 65 years and older and those with 2 or more serious health issues. We went directly to Governor Charlie Baker for answers.
Well, I think we'll move beyond where we are now when we feel like we've done as much as we can do to get the folks who are part of the communities that are currently eligible vaccinated.
The governor tells Western Mass News the state has probably vaccinated about 200,000 people who are 75 years or older in the last few days. But he says more people need to get the shot before the state moves forward.
Part of the reason these communities were early was because they're vulnerable and at risk, and especially with some of the older folks, we need to give them a little room here to get there.
Sarah Grinelli, Western Mass News.
Turning now to the latest coronavirus numbers in our state over the last 2 weeks. The Mass Department of Public Health reporting more than 1,200 new cases of COVID-19 today. That brings our total number of confirmed cases in the Bay State to more than 517,000. More than 58,000 of those are currently believed to be active. State also reporting 55 new deaths from the virus. The statewide death toll stands at more than 14,700.
Springfield officials meeting today to provide their weekly COVID-19 update. Doctors are saying that case numbers continue to trend down in the city. The superintendent of Springfield Public Schools addressed the timeline for bringing students back to the classroom. He says the district plans to bring high needs, special ed, English language learning, and vocational students back by March 15th. Other students will slowly start returning on April 12th, including pre-K, kindergarten, and grades 1, 6, 9, and 12. Daniel Warwick, the superintendent, says the district is in ongoing negotiations with the teachers union regarding the return to in-person learning. And for more coverage on the coronavirus emergency as it continues to develop, be sure to log on to our free streaming Western Mass News app.